With this video, we will be doing why Drake just dissed Kendrick Lamar again. And if you want to help this channel and the content that we making, please help support our merchandise. The link is in the description. If you didn't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Try and get the channel to grow. And the only way we're going to do this if you like, share, and comment on the content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's go. Chi, get the yayo.
Get the yayo.
This public meltdown that has been going on from Drake ever since the aftermath of the Kendrick beef has only been getting worse and worse with each passing moment that we're watching the dust settle and see how Drake is coping with the entire situation. And while embarrassing songs like Drake's Hey There Delilah parody were painstaking enough, for Drake, he isn't just trying to gain some sort of ground back in the rap game right now by releasing more music and trying to win over any sort of goodwill he can from people, but also in this very moment, Drake just came out and straight up dissed Kendrick Lamar again, but not musically this time, but with...
This is crazy. I can honestly say Drake is doing everything the opposite that I predicted that he would do. I didn't think he would say nothing else about Kendrick. I didn't think that he would drop music anytime soon. I thought he was a fadeaway for a little bit, let people miss what you bring to the game, and then come back. He never left.
That's what I thought he was going to do too. I just thought it made sense to just, take some time, and then drop something hot.
Yeah, me too. And then he took a subliminal shot at Kendrick, and I definitely didn't see that coming, especially this soon.
Yeah, at all.
Instagram post, which shows off Drake at what looks like his son Adonis's soccer game, but beyond Drake just using these photos in an attempt to reverse the damage of the narratives that Kendrick tried to get across on his diss tracks, he also captioned the post, "Goats don't worry about one-trick ponies," and
I seen that post, and the thing I don't like about it, or I hope having that Kendrick subliminally do stuff back, because he's gonna try to rewrite the whole narrative. If the other side's not saying now this is happening, or you get what I'm saying, it's only gonna be like people might just start going with the narrative that he's painting, because he's the only one painting the narrative.
Yeah, the only one speaking at this point.
Yeah,
I think the damage was done.
Yeah,
I just think it's another attempt to try to put a spin on it.
He's attempting.
Yeah.
Is what has everyone talking right now, because considering everything going on, this is without a doubt a direct shot at Kendrick. And first off, the fact that this caption is written better than any of the quotables on some of Drake's actual diss tracks like The Hard Part 6 is absolutely hilarious. And overall, just by playing the captioning game right now, it only makes Kendrick's disses once again look stronger and stronger, as they are only being further validated as we sit with them longer and just watch Drake spiral.
When you put that bar into there, I'm glad he threw that bar in there. Because when you put that bar with the context of the of what we just seen that he posted on Instagram, makes it even that more funny, because he's basically saying you only got one trick. It's only one reason why you so-called won that battle. You used the whole young girl angle on me and you doubled down on it, and that's what beat me. So he felt like that's just a one-trick pony. You only got one trick to pull on me.
I mean, well, it was a trick her well around it.
Right though. Yo, it's crazy.
Stronger, as they are only being further validated as we sit with them longer and just watch Drake spiral out of control and do everything that he said. When we look at Drake's first full-on attempt since The Hard Part 6 at trying to poke Kendrick Lamar and see what the asterisks he's trying to throw on this L now to make it look better is, it all really just gets more telling of the absolute state of delusion that Drake is stuck within. But in some ways, we have to give him some credit, because where Drake's attempts at saving his name and image with his two most recent features he has done have only backfired, what he's doing here is at least accomplishing something for him, I guess, because it has sparked a discussion around Drake and Kendrick that is making people question Lamar in some shape, and that's also helping Drake fans cope and imagine that in actuality he is the winner of this feud. And this is because in the post, Drake is still standing on the fact that he is above Kendrick by first off calling himself a goat, but much more substantially, Drake says that goats don't worry about one-trick ponies, and again, somehow, Drake's caption has better writing than whatever the absolute messes of everything he has given us since Family Matters has been, because this has a double meaning, as Drake isn't just saying this phrase to describe Kendrick, but he's referring to a classic film, which, interesting enough, just as he referenced the Whitney Houston movie Bodyguard in push-ups with a bar that he sure does regret and ended up becoming the basis for how
like
personal Kendrick Lamar took everything, as he flat out stated on Meet the Grams.
That was a cool bar. That was a tough bar.
Here, the Houston movie Bodyguard in push-ups with a bar that he sure does regret and ended up becoming the basis for how personal Kendrick Lamar took everything, as he flat out stated on Meet the Grams. Here he is referring to the 1980 film One Trick Pony, and if you didn't think that this was intentional from Drake. Between the fact that this film stars another musician in Paul Simon, which between Drake name-dropping 2 films starring very popular artists from decades past, definitely is some sort of trend or just thread he's trying to weave and keep up, but more eye-opening, and what confirms that Drake is just trying to re-aggravate Kendrick in some shape or form here. The actual film One Trick Pony follows a story that, in Drake's mind, aligns with everything he has been trying to paint across about Kendrick throughout his diss tracks, as just reading what the synopsis of this film is. We can see exactly what Drake was doing with this caption, as it says, Jonah is an aging rock star trying to put together a new album in the face of an indifferent record label and a talentless producer. At the same time, he is struggling to save his marriage, and I won't lie, this is clever on Drake.
God dang, when people be breaking this stuff down. When I read the quote, I just took it as what I just said earlier, that I thought he was saying you only had one trick to beat me. I didn't know it was this deep into it that he be going with this stuff.
Yeah, it's really some... They're having psychological war going on. Yeah.
And it's like, to me, at this point, it feel like he just can't let that L sit. He can't sit with that.
It doesn't sit right with his spirit.
It doesn't sit with his spirit. He doesn't like the fact that the last 2 singles or the 2 features that he was on, they got more dislikes than likes. That's never happened in his career. And I think it's hard for him to settle with. It's hard for him to sit with at night, whether he want to admit it or not.
Yeah, that's real.
He is struggling to save his marriage, and I won't lie, this is clever on Drake's end, but at the same time, I think this is showing us that while it may seem like Drake may be trying to start a round 2 with Kendrick by once again dissing him to his millions of followers, I think what we will find out soon, and what's actually going on, is that Drake is now implementing a new strategy to save his career that isn't actually trying to put him within a musical duel with Kendrick again, as we all know how bad that went, but it's trying to get ahead of the even further damage control that is going to need to be done when Kendrick Lamar's Pop Out and Friends concert goes down in LA very soon, and when the rollout for his teased and highly anticipated album begins, because Drake knows at this point, any success Kendrick Lamar sees, whether the music is about him or not, is only going to hurt his reputation, as we will see Kendrick get more and more praise, and prove that his claims about there being no Big 3 become perceived as fact by more and more people when it comes to MCs that offer the complete artistic package just beyond the optics of hype, streams, and sales.
I think after this whole situation, few people look at it as a Big 3 anymore. I don't even think we hear that term really even used anymore. I think that term is like...
Yeah, that term's going to be past tense.
That's all destroyed at this point.
Yeah.
MCs that offer the complete artistic package just beyond the optics of hype, streams, and sales. Drake has at least realized that he is going to have to get a lot more tactical to walk out of what is pretty much going to be wave 2 of negativity towards him in any sort of position of strength. And he is doing this now by beginning to weave together a narrative around Kendrick, which is trying to diminish his success and legitimacy as an artist, as he is painting him out to be a lost individual whose career is no longer in the state of success that it once was, and now he is on the search to regain any sort of relevance as his personal life falls apart. And while Drake trying to push across this narrative to his fans that are willing to believe just about anything he says, that Kendrick is a one-trick pony because he can only gain relevance from mentioning Drake's name, and that his music is also one-dimensional. Just
no one believes none of them statements that he just said
at all.
Nobody believes none of that. That's not even a narrative that's out here in the streets that anyone even believe anything.
Yeah, at all. None of that.
Close to what he just said. He just made all that shit up real quick.
That's what he was feeling.
He just made all that up.
Fans that are willing to believe just about anything he says, that Kendrick is a one-trick pony because he can only gain relevance from mentioning Drake's name, and that his music is also one-dimensional. Just like a lot of the things Drake has done, when you really consider what these claims are stating and see how they hold up to Kendrick. Anybody will see that from the 5 tracks Kendrick released throughout this feud alone, there's never been this amount of artistic range being shown at once, as from a Metro Boomin club banger to a gritty Alchemist beat to a DJ Mustard loop that channels everything his greatness and the West Coast stands for. Kendrick showed that he really is the ultimate MC, as he can plug his abilities into every corner of the rap world and beyond this. While this has started a debate already where Drake stans are arguing that because Drake can sing and hop onto so many different waves of music, he is more versatile, I think it is important to remember that versatility isn't just about how many different styles of music you can dip your feet into, but that it's also about the range of music you can operate in at a high level. And when you compare this, and
it's like different when you're like moving in all these different areas and people's making these songs for you. Yeah. That's different than someone's moving around and they're creating the whole vibe and they're feeling themselves. You can't even compare the two. It's not even fair to even compare the two at this point. It's uncomparable. When you get the facts and all the information we know now, it's not even comparable.
It's not
even a little bit.
It's a whole different ballgame.
A team is creating this. One person is creating this. We're not going to compare that.
The range of music you can operate in at a high level, and when you compare this, and you see how Drake gets criticized for riding trends and copying musical styles with no creativity whatsoever, and see how Kendrick is able to bend himself and his abilities into songs as popular as Travis Scott's Goosebumps, but also as gritty and abstract as Danny Brown's Really Dough off the experimental hip-hop masterpiece Atrocity Exhibition. Don't get me wrong, Drake's versatility is incredible for what it is, but it is easy to lose sight of how shallow it gets beyond just hopping on a trend or dipping his toes into something, as opposed to Kendrick, who can go all in on anything and be his best self, from decade-defining hits to the most intense of deep cuts. So to bring this full circle and see how while Drake is trying to prepare for the sea of attacks that are going to come right back at him as Kendrick Lamar kicks into gear what is up next for his rap career. Despite the tactics of this move being smart, as he is trying to create a safety net for him and begin to redirect how people perceive Kendrick's victory and his abilities as an MC. And as a result, is trying to plant a seed that will end up making Kendrick Lamar's upcoming album look desperate and that it needed Drake to succeed. Outside of his fan base, who has shown that they will twist any...
I mean, from my understanding, wasn't Drake the one antagonizing Kendrick?
Yeah, it just didn't go well.
It just wasn't like Kendrick came out and was just dropping Drake. Drake was antagonizing him, then he came outside. The fact that he came outside, you can't be like now saying, yo, you were trying to use that for your album. Yo, you called me out.
You called me out.
I was chilling.
Yeah, I was chilling. I was in my cave. Yeah. Alone, like not worried about nobody. Yeah. And then here you go poking at me. Yeah. Now I'm outside smacking you and it's on me.
You're using this for promo for your album. We know what you're doing. What? It's crazy.
Desperate and that it needed Drake to succeed. Outside of his fan base, who has shown that they will twist anything out there to cope with the reality of what has been an all-time low year for Drake. Is any of this enough to really sway the public opinion about Drake right now and make people discredit Kendrick Lamar? Because while Drake has been trying to build this narrative already that Kendrick is so desperate and hungry for attention, and then he's using this beef for promotion, people have already rejected this idea, and as Drake continues to stay outside, and at the end of the day, beyond the layers of this social media post, which is already pathetic to just do all of this when considering this is a rap beef and people want to see everything settled with a microphone. Right. At the end of the day, all of this is only making him look worse, as it's proving everything Kendrick said to be true. What does this man not understand? So all in all, if you are Drake, please go into hiding for a while, let this pass, and try to come back stronger, because with these clownish antics that are showing him to be not over this beef one bit, and that are still trying to change a score that has already been written in the books, he's only going to destroy every single thing that he stands for. So let me know, what do you think about the newest moment and what I'm going to call the never-ending downfall of Drake? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see what Drake's worst song is, and how it did one-of-a-kind damage to his career while also seeing other rappers who stained their own careers forever by releasing songs that embarrass...
This is Lamar Wilson, representing Ghetto Action News Network _, all lowercases.
No spaces.
You'll find us on Instagram and Facebook. Leave some comments, share something, and come on back. We get right into this.
Let's get it.
This has gotten messy. Yeah. You know, he's just trying to do some damage control at this point. Try to clean up the messes best he can, is the way I see it. But I think this one was a bigger slap than he thought it was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking and at this point, I'm just waiting on him to drop something that actually
resonates.
Yeah, it resonates. Yeah, how you feel about this?
I think it's like, if you know what you're looking at, it's easy to see what Drake is trying to attempt. I think he felt like if he just would have went away, people felt like it was just a total L. He trying to feel like it's unbothered him. This weekend he was out and about, you feel what I'm saying, mixing with and mingling with the people. Like he said, he had a bunch of bodyguards with Whitney with him, a bunch of big black guys with hammers, but he's showing I'm still outside, I'm unfazed by this, I'm still dropping music, business continue as usual, is the picture that he's trying to paint. Whether the people buying it or not, that's on them, but I could clearly see what I'm looking at. I could clearly see what he's doing, because he only had two options, to be outside or just walk away, and when his eyes look like a coward, he chooses the latter. Stay active, stay outside, stay unbothered, stay dropping stuff, and we'll see how it play out. Definitely got to see that Kendrick got an album on the way. Definitely know Drake gonna have an album on the way, and people is not gonna help but compare the albums to each other. So it looked like at the end of this, we're gonna get more great music out of it.
Yeah,
and that's
the best thing that's happened.
That's what everybody wanted, just great music, and I see this year 2 great projects coming out of those camps, and I can't wait to see what comes out of that. But until then, it's your boy Trey TV, and I'm out.